Blog Talk Radio.
Hey guys, this is Those Guys with your host, Matt Marrero, along with your other host,
Tristan Walter.
And today we're doing Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods again, except that this time it's uncut, which is completely different. And it's funny because it's not completely different. All right, so this is technically our third time talking about Battle of Gods, for fuck's sakes. But originally you and I talked about the theatrical cut, which is the hour, 20-minute cut. Right? We then talked about Dragon Ball Super, which, was a retelling of it. But
with
it got
the 5-hour cut.
Yeah, right? The 5 o'clock hour cut. But what's interesting is, here's what's interesting, right? In seeing the hour, 20-minute cut, and of course because we also saw the movie about 2 years ago, because it's currently 2016. Everyone's getting old. So we saw the movie 2 years ago.
Wouldn't that make it 3 years then?
No, because the movie didn't come out in America in 2013.
Oh, right.
It came out over in Japan in general, 2013.
Yes.
But it didn't come out in America. It came out in 2014, which was interesting because I knew some people at the time that were like, what? It takes a year for this to come out? Are you serious? Not understanding any of the intricacies about licensing stuff from Japan.
Yeah, and me and you were sitting here going, holy shit, it's out in theaters in America already?
I know, because it had been a full year. And there was at least a few people that I knew that were just like, a full year, really? I mean, this has already been on the internet and, it's just, it's on DVD. And it's like, yes, that's why they wait, you idiot.
Yeah.
You're not just going to do a double release. I mean, they were pretty close with Resurrection of F. They really tried hard to be as close as they can. But, I mean, maybe the next movie will be a double release in America and Japan. Maybe. Because Funimation was so close. But, hell, we've had Space Dandy in America, which was actually a release in Japan and America. Basically a simulcast of dubs.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this is our third attempt, right? Not as if we failed the first two times, but it's interesting because with all the scenes they added in, we can now say, oh, wow, this was in Super, which was in the original, right? So we were a little bit wrong. I think we were wrong in saying that the Gotenks scene in Super wasn't in the movie, in either of the movie's cuts, because I know we said that, or at least I did. But I can definitely say that obviously the fight was a lot longer in Super, and same thing with the fight between Goku and Beerus at Super Saiyan 3. We didn't say it wasn't in the movie, but definitely was a lot shorter, and I preferred it that way. But it was a lot shorter in the film compared to the show.
Right.
Talking about this uncut version, it was very interesting. I think maybe because even though I don't remember a lot from the theatrical version, because it has been 2 years, I think maybe just the way my mind is processing it, it wasn't that funny to me in this version, maybe because it was, at least the first, let's say, 20 minutes weren't as funny. I think maybe because, some of the added-in scenes just threw off the flow in my head. Because even though, I might not sit there and go, oh, I remember every little thing from this movie, your mind already saw it. So there's a flow that I think your brain goes with, and it felt off, and it felt like the acting, or maybe it's because we've been seeing the Japanese dub a lot recently talking about Super, the English dub seemed off to me in a strange way. But once we got up to the Goku King Kai, and Beerus stuff, where it's like, oh, your lordship, sir, hello, Lord Beerus, like all that stuff, I think it started to pick up in terms of comedy, and we had Pilaf and his gang, which are pretty funny in the movie, which sucks because they weren't even that funny in Super, but I think they were pretty funny in the movie.
Yeah.
And,
the whole hold-up scene was hysterical, especially when everybody just looks at them like, oh my God, they're holding a gun to a child's head, and everyone's just like starting to laugh. It's like, what is wrong with you? Like, even Beerus looks over. It's like, there's a gun to a child's head. Why are these people not reacting the way they should be? I might need to teach them a lesson.
No, it's hilarious because of their power levels. I mean, I would argue that Trunks could have probably taken a bullet to the head and it would have just popped off his skull.
Oh yeah,
he is part human, but the training that he's gone under.
Nah, he would have been fine.
I assume. So that's why I think it's just really funny.
I mean, yeah, Goku's a Saiyan, but I mean, he was a child and he took a bullet straight to the forehead and he was just fine.
Yeah, that's why I said, Trunks is part Earthling, but still, it's just, I assume maybe a little bit of that has to do with it. But even then, in a weird way, when you mix your Saiyan blood with Earthling blood, you become stronger. So God only knows if they could take a bullet even better than Goku could at that age. Because Goku was so like, ow. Wasn't he kind of like, hey, come on, don't do that.
He was out for a few seconds, and then he got up, and he was like, ow, that really hurt. What the hell was that?
And that's the training that, Trunks has received. He's not the best fighter, but he's already at a Super Saiyan level.
Yeah.
So, bullet to the head is just nothing to them. So I think they're just sitting there going, like, you know what it reminds me of? Actually, it reminds me of, there was a scene in the new Flash series, right? And one guy tried to mug him. And he was like, oh, my God, this is amazing. Because he was already Flash. And he's like, what? And he's like, what are the odds of this? I mean, honestly, how many people live in this city? What are the odds that you are going to try and mug me? Oh, my God, this is great.
Wow.
You literally had the worst luck ever. And then he just proceeds to go Flash on his ass.
Oh, lovely.
And takes this mugger with a gun straight to a cop. No, it's great. That or, the idea, I think you've maybe seen the clips from The Amazing Spider-Man. Just, oh no, knives, my only weakness.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, it reminds me of that too. Just the idea of like, you really brought this gun to the wrong fight, man.
Yeah.
You couldn't even have brought Mecha. You needed to bring at least a Super Saiyan level 2 at most for this party. No, at the least. At the least. If you had brought, if Garlic Jr., I always say Garlic Jr., even though I know it's not. If Pilaf had brought a Super Saiyan 2 to this party,
then we would have had something to talk about.
Then we would have had something to talk about. Like, whoa, what? Another Saiyan ready to kill them all? Super Saiyan 2 level.
God.
I mean, that's at least at Vegeta's level. We're at the very least at Vegeta's level.
Pilaf pays off the monk from the second Broly movie and buys some Broly DNA and makes his own Broly.
Oh, God. Broly 4. You've waited so long for more Broly.
Honestly, even that really wouldn't do jack shit. I mean, they could just fuse and kick his ass.
Well, now they could. Now they have the amount of Saiyans to do such a thing. I think Super Saiyan 3 really puts a damper on the whole, like, Broly's the legendary powerful one thing.
Yeah.
Especially a Super Saiyan 3, a Super Saiyan 2, a fused Super Saiyan 3.
Yeah.
Like, it really puts it, it really dampens the whole, like, no, we have Super Saiyan 3 now. You're done. You're done, man. I'm so sorry. We're so fucking sorry.
Could you imagine if he had seen God form? He just looks over, he's just like, I'm sorry for bothering you. I'm going to go now.
Basically, it'd be like Shenron with Beerus.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Lord Beerus is here. Oh, well, it's great to see you. I've heard things.
But anyway, so yeah, he really had nothing for this. Literally, it's just Super Saiyan 2 or go home. Oh, no, now I remember what I wanted to say. You were talking about them bringing Broly back. That sounds like the most Hollywood reboot thing in the world. It's just 20 years after it came out, please, Broly reboot.
Yeah.
It's not even a Dragon Ball Z reboot, it's the Broly reboot. And it's a gritty, as if his original fucking backstory wasn't bad enough in terms of grit. Like, I know it might seem like really it was only crying, but it was severe psychological damage for the guy. So it's even grittier. It's like, that's happening, but people also getting shot in the background. There's fires in the nursery. Like, it's just this gritty retelling. And it's only
He's
his
using
origin
guns
story.
for whatever strange reason.
And that 10-minute or less origin story is, like, expanded to the full hour-and-a-half movie.
Oh, God.
We don't even see the Saiyans yet. Other than, the Saiyans on that planet. Like, you don't get to see, like, Goku or Vegeta or anyone else yet, or Gohan or Trunks. No, they're not there. They'll be in the sequel.
Right. Battle of Gods 2. Battle of Broly 2.
No. It's just called Broly. It's just called Broly. There's no Dragon Ball Z in the name at all. Maybe Broly Origins.
Oh, God.
Or just Broly.
Oh, God. Broly 2, the Brolying.
That's the sequel.
Or Broly 2, the Brolining.
Oh, good God, no. Anyway, so the point of all of
Let's get off
this is...
track real quick.
real fucking quick. The point of all of this is the uncut version. We're going to cut down our podcast. We're going to cut these scenes out. But yeah, I don't know why. At first, I enjoyed the theatrical cut better. Right, jumping back into this, I enjoyed the theatrical cut better at first. And I don't know. Did you feel off with the dub voices? Not that they were bad, because we heard them already, right?
Yeah.
We saw the theatrical cut, but I really think like with all this super in our lives, we forgot about the dub. Like, we know the dub voices existed. I've seen some behind the scenes stuff recently that were on the DVD for Battle of Gods, which you totally get, by the way. And so, like, obviously I remembered, like, hey, you guys exist. You guys were my childhood, right? I was just watching Super. I don't know why. Like, when I hear, Sean, I always mispronounce his name, and I love it. It's always something brand new and amazing. Schmel, Razafraz. Sean doing Goku's voice, it just felt off, and it was weird. I was like, wait a minute, what? Like, I don't know why. Like, I think it's just we've been seeing too much Super. Did you feel the same way or no?
I think you've been trapped in the land of Super for far too long. Yeah, I mean, going back to the dub voices, it still seems natural to me. I mean, the only thing that I would say that I know you usually mention in a lot of different things we talk about, like the American dub usually adds in lines of dialogue here and there.
Yes, and they did too. They were funny.
Oh yeah,
they were. But they definitely added in some lines.
Yeah, I didn't really feel like it was off or out of place or anything.
It felt like overkill to you, and I haven't seen either version of it yet, so I can't comment on whether it was actually them adding in too many lines of funny dialogue. But to you, it felt like overkill in Resurrection of F. And we're not talking about that right now, but you saw Resurrection of F in theaters. I was unable to. You think it's too much in that one? Or you felt like it felt like a lot. Maybe.
I can't remember now.
Okay, so on record, you said that it felt like a lot. That's what I'm going with. On record.
Okay. I mean,
Kristen
I know originally for
Island.
Battle of Gods, I thought, like, I like the humor, and it, it's Dragon Ball humor, and I mean, well, that's the series, so yes, it's appropriate that it's there. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it's funny. To me, it feels like, in a very strange way, and not in a bad way. I really do enjoy the movie. I say this, with all the love and, not bad intention, that it feels like an official fan fiction, because it feels like, hey, what if all of your favorite characters were at, so-and-so's birthday party and just hanging out and having a good time like normal people? It's like, but they fight evil and save the Earth. They don't do that. They're normal people, you know that, right? I mean, well, yeah, but...
Well, I think it's a very interesting approach. It reminds me of...
Yeah.
You've seen this movie. No, the movie I'm about to reference. You've actually seen it, thank God. You haven't... not that you're not a fan, but you haven't seen a lot of the Marvel films, right?
Yeah.
But I know that you have seen Age of Ultron.
Yes.
It's like the party scenes with the Avengers, which is very interesting,
right.
I guess, as a parallel. It's a bit like that, where it's kind of like Joss Whedon really enjoys, at least, I'm pretty sure he does, enjoys writing the quips because he, wrote a lot of them in Buffy. So he's a fan of that kind of dialogue, and, he wrote them to be that way in the party scenes, because there were more than one, where they're just all hanging out together, and it's really, really funny.
Right.
That's what it reminded me of. Though, of course, this came out before Age of Ultron, but still, it's that idea of like, hey, these are your heroes on their day off. Right,
exactly. And just
which is nice.
Oh, yeah, no, it's awesome. Like, even the episodes in Super where, it's just been, hey, Vegeta's on a vacation with his family. That was amazing. Goku's at home for once and not dead.
Yes, right.
Which everyone makes that joke, but...
It kind of is a thing, Not that he's always dead, but he's dead for a decent amount of his, at least Goten's life. He's dead for a while, man.
it's funny. There are a lot of jokes for Dragon Ball that people make like all the time, and I'm just like, that isn't the entire series, right? But at the same time, I can't look at them and go, I can't look at them and tell them, no, that's not how that goes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I know.
Like, I would argue, that the Krillin jokes, I think, are really just jokes, and I don't necessarily agree with them because it's just like, it's like technically Krillin is the strongest human, which would mean that someone like Yamcha is actually lesser than him. But nobody makes a lot of Yamcha jokes. They make a decent amount when it comes to Cybermen stuff. But, like, people don't make as many Yamcha or even Tien jokes as they do Krillin.
Yeah, well, I think it's because Tien was once a villain that no one really makes jokes about Tien. Technically.
But a hardcore villain,
technically,
too. Because Yamcha used to be a bandit, but I think everyone's just like, we don't want to mess with Tien.
Right. And I mean, I've heard a lot of shit talk about Yamcha. Like, I've probably heard an equal amount of Yamcha jokes that I have Krillin jokes.
No, I would argue the Krillin jokes are off the charts. I could have went for an over 9,000 reference there, but I didn't. No, seriously though, a lot of Krillin jokes, man. Like, way too many. Like, everything is just like, hey, I want to beat you up, but you're going to kill me, so,
right.
Or I'm going to get my ass kicked. And it's just like, well, everyone after a certain point got their ass kicked unless they were a Saiyan or Piccolo. And even then.
And even then.
Every time Piccolo
got
powered up
defeated by chopsticks in this movie.
Yes. Though I think it was done very well. It was interesting. I think some people might say, that tried to make Piccolo look ineffective. But I think it was because, to me, it looked great because, I assume Piccolo's kept up his training, of course. But Piccolo is around the strength of Cell, I would say, right? So, because I know it's not second level of Cell. It's only first level. But still, he has fused with Kami and Nail, right? They're there. And he's trained, I assume, a lot during his time off because that's Piccolo for you. So it's interesting, I think, to just, in my opinion, especially in this uncut version with the flashbacks, to really remind you as if you forgot. To remind you, like, hey, this is the strength of these guys, what they've gone through. To just have Piccolo being taken down by chopsticks. I'm sure many people thought, it makes him look weak. But I think it just really, it's the reverse. It makes Beerus look strong.
Yeah,
Extremely
they're up
strong.
against a freaking god for all intents and purposes.
Exactly. Who clearly really demonstrated his power.
Yeah, that's all I could think in my mind was like Tien getting, Piccolo and Tien just getting, Piccolo gets hit with the chopsticks, Tien gets grabbed and then tossed around, and it's just like, when both of them land, it's like, so this is what it's come to. This is my life right now.
I would have loved the solar flare. I would have loved the solar flare scene, and Beerus is staring right into it, and he just walks up. He walks up an inch from Tien's face. Do it again.
Oh, yeah, that would have been
staring. His eyes are wide. Do it again, boy.
Oh, God.
Solar flare.
Honestly,
again. Solar flare. Again.
No, you know what? I honestly feel like that probably would have pissed him off the most.
Probably, because it would have been so annoying, like, I see a spot, Whis. Why do I see a spot? One spot, not spots. One spot. Oh, Lord Beerus, apparently that's meant to blind folks on this planet. I see a spot. Like, oh my God, it would just be horrible. Just, mind you, I would love it though. Just like after about like 5 solar flares, I see a few more spots.
Everybody else
that's all.
Their eyes have melted out of their skulls
bleeding.
at this point.
I love it. We both went for, I love this so much. Thank you. So we both went for the same. Yours was a bit worse than mine, but we're still going in the same general direction. You're dead. You're dead.
Tien's third eye is just like spazzing rapidly.
Oh man. I think it would be horrible. I don't know why. I don't know what's coming. I think it would be horrible where it's just like they try to replay like best of Dragon Ball Z moments where it's just like, Chaozu jumps on Beerus. Goodbye, Tien. No, Chaozu! Literally, it will do nothing.
Oh.
He looks like a firecracker.
Oh.
Beerus's clothes are fucking stronger than that attack. Tien does the whole like tri-beam cannon. Beerus's clothes are fine. Oh no! Like just collapses. Like this is why are we doing this? Yamcha's just like, all right, fine. No, puts an energy beam to his chest, explodes himself there. Well, if we're gonna do greatest hits, Yamcha's just dead. Yamcha's just. It's like that was wrong. Either that or Beerus would have like infused energy into a piece of sushi, and it would have blown up. No, he wouldn't. No, it would have been the wasabi. He would have made explosive wasabi. So essentially, it would have been a green thing hitting Yamcha and exploding. It's the same thing. That's essentially what happened. That's essentially what happened. Let's be honest.
Oh. See, this is what I'm talking about. Yamcha jokes.
No. It's not Yamcha jokes, it's Cyberman jokes.
God.
But anyway, getting back to something serious. No, we're not. But getting back to the movie itself. I thought the fights were done really well. I like the extended fights. I still am not a fan of the CG, the way it was, like the 3D, the way it was done. It looks a bit too much like a video game. In a weird way, I'm happy how Super... Matt, you're complimenting the Battle of Gods arc in Super? It's, I don't know. I enjoy how the Battle of Gods arc in Super, even though the fights were, a lower budget, right? I showed you they fixed them for the Blu-rays.
Yes.
And in fixing them, I do think that, they're getting away from that 3D mindset, even though, yes, they were made longer, so it was kind of an issue, too, where some of it was a bit slower in a way. Still, I was just not a big fan of the 3D, scenes in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of it. I don't know if Resurrection of F or Revival of F don't do that, or if they do.
Oh, they did it.
But
they definitely did.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of it.
I honestly think they do more of the 3D stuff in the theatrical release, and then in the Blu-ray, it's not as much. I could be remembering that wrong, but it felt like more of the fight was in that 3D kind of thing in the theater version.
Yeah,
it was on the Bluray.
Okay, interesting.
So I don't know if that's just
it may
thing. They were like,
it's
in the theaters, let's put this in, But
no, they may have melded it in better, maybe if that's the case. In terms of, I assume we as Americans did get a DVD cut of the theatrical version. Right? But again, I know that you and I just saw the Blu-ray version, so that might be why it looks a bit better, smoother, possibly, and not as... And I say this because... And I only say this because, I noticed that... what am I looking for? In my head. So I noticed that it just does seem a bit smoother. What I noticed is that, I'm not a big fan of the idea that... we've seen this a lot in anime. I think Black Lagoon actually did this. The cars, where it's just like the cars are definitely 3D models that don't really mesh well with the... It's not necessarily 2D, but it's not the same as the cars. You know what I mean? Like the cars are just really off. But, so... Overall, the comedy, as always, enjoyed it. I know there are people that didn't really enjoy it, but I think that's because I'm not going to say that people didn't watch Dragon Ball in America or haven't read Dragon Ball. Well, technically Dragon Ball, when you read it, is the entire series, but the earlier part of Dragon Ball. I'm not going to say that we haven't, that they haven't watched it. But I do think that because of the popularity of Dragon Ball Z, in a way it may have eclipsed some of what happened in Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
So I do think that many people, when they remember Dragon Ball Z, they remember those fights, man.
Right. Yeah.
So to have a lot of really funny scenes in there, a lot of stuff just like, like with Mai, where it's just kind of like, oh, how old are you? 41 in March.
Yeah. Oh, God.
To you and I, we're dead. Not as if trying to make us sound like we're elitist or we're any better for reading Dragon Ball, for having the entire Dragon Ball collection or anything like that. It doesn't make us any better. It just, to us, there's some people that have seen it, and they're just like, oh, no, I'm not a fan of that kind of humor, which is fine. But I know that
Right.
not only are we fans of that humor, we've read it, so we've experienced it where, I think a decent amount of people in the U.S., where we reside, right, are really just grown up on the Dragon Ball Z episodes. And Dragon Ball aired, but it aired, the Funimation version, which was the full dub, aired after Dragon Ball Z started airing.
Yes.
And also, if you saw some Dragon Ball Z as a kid and you're going, oh, the movie's going to come out in America, let me marathon this because I remember it a little bit, but I don't remember it a lot because I was really young at the time. You might go after the Dragon Ball Z DVDs, the box sets, like those, instead of the Dragon Ball episodes. So again, your version of, yes, Dragon Ball Z had its funny moments, of course it does, but it's very much action-oriented.
Yeah.
Where, yes, of course, Dragon Ball was Kung Fu-oriented, but with enough stuff of like, oh, yeah, but there's a bunny man. And
right,
there's
yeah.
dinosaurs. Dinosaurs in early DBZ as well, but still there's dinosaurs and there's this and this and this and this. One thing that I'm surprised that they kept in, that they didn't cut out, is the idea that Beerus made the dinosaurs all go extinct. I'm surprised they still kept that in, because they had the ability to remove that.
It makes me cry every time, Matt.
I'm confused. I'm like, no, because I'm confused, because I'm like, but Beerus, they're still around. You done fucked up. Remember, the dinosaurs are still around. He didn't extinct them. Yes, that's the correct grammar. Beerus, what are you doing?
Yeah, there were a few times where I felt that in this movie.
What,
like okay, that's
stuff?
Sort of, or just a question of why. I mean, that's a bigger continuity thing. But what I thought of was when the bingo scene comes up, and they're all looking, to see who has the winning numbers, and Piccolo looks at his, and he's like, oh, stupid Earth game, and he walks off. I'm like, Piccolo, okay, if you got anything less than the Dragon Balls, what the fuck would you need it for? Why would you even want it in the first place?
I don't think he wanted to win in terms of winning items. I think it was just the thrill of competition. Think about it.
Probably.
They haven't fought anyone in a very long time.
That's true. But it was just the thought of Piccolo winning the Dragon Balls. Especially him, of all people, winning them in a bingo, because this is so Bulma. Of course this is Bulma. It's like,
bingo!
Oh, God! Oh. R.I.P. Vegeta's Pride, 2013.
Basically, I was sad when Super didn't do complete bingo. They did something funny, but it wasn't bingo, and I was like, "Oh, come on, guys, bingo!" Bingo.
I think he started cooking. He was doing the sushi chef routine with the knives.
Yes. He was cooking the octopus, which it's funny. I just bingo, man. Yeah.
Bingo, nothing could top that.
No.
Like with Beerus' joke of, "Oh, I still have to destroy the Earth."
Mhm. And then destroy the piece of the Earth.
Yeah, there was nothing that could top that. That was gold.
Yeah. I think I love Beerus' line. Just I took Vegeta for a better song and dance man, and I'm like, what are you trying to say there, you asshole? What are you? You're an asshole, Beerus. I did, of course, enjoy the scene, which was done in both the Super and the uncut version and the theatrical version with Majin Buu and the pudding. That pudding.
Although I have to say, in Super, I think Beerus kicked the crap out of Buu a lot harder than he did in the...
because they had to kill time, so the fight, in a weird way, some of them, I think the ones that weren't Goku Beerus, I think they were done better because they had more time to explore the fights. What I mean by that is, while it does serve everyone better to be quickly disposed of by Beerus to show how strong he is, and that's why I didn't really enjoy the first fight on King Kai's planet in Super, right? Because it looks weird if Goku's able to, even though you could say, oh, Beerus is toying with him, it felt like it happened for a while, because it happened for almost more than half the episode. So I like the idea of it being swift.
Yeah, Beerus doesn't seem the type of character to toy around with someone just for the sake of toying around with them.
He does.
For an extended period of time.
He does.
He'll toy with you.
It's later.
But
I feel like it would happen more later, not at the beginning.
I guess.
No. I feel like he would, the way he was in a way teaching him, but also toying around, not going to full power on Earth.
Yeah. But that was
That's
different.
what I mean. Versus, it's a mixed in with a little bit of toying, but not that much of.
Yes,
He's a
but
cat.
at that
he loves
point,
playing.
well, yeah. But at that
No,
point, he's like, oh, you know, Goku, he's a Super Saiyan God now. He might actually pose a decent fight. As before,
Right.
he was just like, yeah, come at me, bitch.
Basically. And Beerus'
Pretty
words,
much.
not yours. Beerus' words.
Yeah, exactly. That was totally him.
That too, by the way, I'm not a big fan of cursing, and I know it's just like, are you fucking serious? You've just said fuck a bunch of times. Right, but I don't, this podcast is not necessarily intended for children. It can be if you're okay with your kids, you know, hearing about cursing and exploding wasabi, but it's not, we don't sit there and go, oh, this, you know, podcast for children. I'm not saying Funimation does it either, but I would argue in Japan, you know, Dragon Ball, the series, is intended for children. Adults can watch it, but at this point, they're watching it out of nostalgia, not out of how many times someone can say bastard.
Yeah.
So it's always weird for me when an obvious children's show is given, you know, some lines here and there. And yes, of course, we have bad words in Japanese, but their variations, you know, they mean various things depending on, you know, on what show you're doing, right? And there are some that, you know, when used as slang, are actually so much worse that you never catch them in something that isn't on late night TV.
Right.
So I just feel like there are some shows you can get away with it. You know, you look at Dead Man Wonderland, also dubbed over by Funimation. Dead Man Wonderland can totally get away with cursing as much as they want. It makes sense.
Right.
There's a show about a kid being put in prison and being wrongfully accused, and this prison also works as like a carnival, you know, that also ends up killing its inmates in some of these, you know, entertainment acts, quote unquote.
Yeah.
It's a little dark. It's a little dark, man.
Right.
But in terms of Dragon Ball Z, like the only time that I saw it that I, you know, in this movie that I thought that's a good way to, you know, introduce cursing, right? Was when Vegeta was furious.
Right.
You know, like, my Bulma, you bastard. But even then,
Yeah.
it still gave me weird flashbacks to those Dragon Ball Z fan subs back in the day that I've shown you, where it's just like, you fucking bastard, how dare you?
Right.
How dare you destroy my house? And it's like, what are we doing here? Are we really? So, but still, even though it gave me some really bad flashbacks, that made sense. Other stuff where I think, I don't know, like Lord Beerus, even though he's very brash sometimes, just like, oh, you bastard. I was like, really? It's like, really?
Well, I mean,
like, it's just, I feel like it's, you know, like even when Goku cursed, I've seen some clips in Revival of F. I know I keep on changing the name. I don't care. Revival, Resurrection, it's still of F. It's of F. That's just the movie. Just Dragon Ball Z of F.
Dragon Ball Z F. Right. Dragon Ball F.
Dragon Ball Z.
What?
Fuck. Dragon Ball Frieza. Frieza fell to Earth. Frieza fell to Earth as a little baby Frieza.
The movie's Frieza. Frieza Origins.
Frieza Origins. No, what happened was no. Basically, Frieza fell to Earth as a young baby Frieza, and he is now he's in Goku's position. He's just like, this is my planet of Earth. No one will destroy my Earth. He has a little Gohan who looks just like Frieza, mixed with Chi-Chi.
No, oh God. No, I'm imagining Frieza, like, defending himself on the playground against his older brother and his friends.
Oh, no, I'm imagining Frieza versus Raditz, which is like,
are
you my boss?
Oh, no.
I don't understand what you're referring to.
Oh, jeez.
No, wait, no, I got it. You stupid Saiyan monkey, Piccolo. Wow, racist. Wow. Really? Really? I'm
now
fighting
the
with a
Namek
racist?
is going to speak up to me? I don't even need to say it again.
I can't believe I'm fighting with a racist. You tried to destroy the planet, but at least I'm not a racist. Actually, wait, have I ever told you about that scene? It was a crossover with Joker working with Red Skull. And when Joker found out that he's a Nazi, when Joker found out he was a Nazi, he's just like, I'm not working with you. I may be a crazy, a crazed clown trying to destroy Gotham, but at least I'm not a Nazi.
Right. Wow.
And I'm like, dear
Wow.
fucking God, that's great. I know, right? At least I'm not a Nazi. And it's like, wow, that's great.
I mean,
that's fucking great. It's accurate, you know? It's not wrong.
Can't exactly argue against that.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah,
Now,
what?
Yeah, I wanted to say, like, you making the point with the cursing felt awkward to you in some points. I know there were other lines Goku was saying, you know, oh, he's Lord Beerus, the god of destruction. You know, even King Kai and Supreme Kai crap themselves. Or, like, they get the crap scared out of them when they hear his name. Or, you know, Beerus walking up to Goku, oh, so you're the one who killed that Frieza bastard.
Yeah, no, I mean, granted, he did not like Frieza.
Yeah,
but still,
no
I don't know.
does.
It's just like, yeah, right. No one does. It's great.
Not
No,
even the
it's
god
great.
of destruction.
No.
I love the fact he even says it. It's like, you know, he was so surprised, like, wow, somebody beat Frieza? Oh, well, I would have done it myself eventually.
Which is nuts, because I would love that too. Just, you know, we have that. We have the first ever video game for the PS2, Dragon Ball Z Budokai, and we have that alternate, like the alternate story where what would happen if Frieza beat, you know, Goku. He's like, I'm going to Earth next, right?
Right.
How funny would it have been? Just Beerus? Actually, I'm going to kill you.
Actually, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
But
it would have
what
been
I was
great to
going
have
to
seen that
say,
story.
what felt really, like, out of place for me. Now, okay, I understand they were at a party, and, you know, they are real people, and some people enjoy their time, you know, with you know, alcohol at parties.
Okay.
But it felt weird. Like, I mean, Bulma. Okay, I suppose I could see it, and it really didn't get to me too much. But Gohan, I'm sorry,
man,
but
Gohan.
no.
Look, man, nothing good has ever happened to Gohan.
This is
Look,
true.
man, Gohan is studying.
But
Gohan is either studying for his entire life, or he's getting the crap kicked out of him.
This is true. I don't deny that he doesn't have reason to.
I'm just saying, I think this guy deserves a drink, okay? He's over the age of 18. I believe 21 as well. I don't know what the legal age is in Japan. But I know that he's over a certain age, right? He's allowed to get drunk. Now, I will admit, though.
Okay, just because you can drink doesn't mean you should get drunk. But that's a completely different dragon that we're not going to get into.
You know what's really interesting, too? No, I'll say this much. Fair enough. But I'll say this, what's very interesting. That, you know, Krillin was saying, oh, man, it looks like Gohan's been drinking. And I'm like, Gohan, being in a great Saiyaman outfit, completely fucking sober. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes.
No, like, other than him being cocky. Even him being cocky is just complete with the great Saiyaman gimmick. I did not see.
Right.
I was so confused. Like, other than the fact that he had the red there for being like, oh, yeah, I'm drunk, you know, the red cheeks.
Right.
It's funny. In person, I'm pointing to my cheeks and rubbing them, and I'm like, right, I'm on a podcast right now. So, yeah, he has red in his cheeks, still like, hello, I've been drinking, huh? Still, like, his great Saiyaman routine is just, that's him, like, after seeing stuff, you know, like, obviously the original series, but also Wrath of the Dragon.
Yeah.
You know, which another movie we done a podcast on. You sit back and you're like, guys, he's great Saiyaman. The great Saiyaman who says kids should not be playing with guns. Also, I mean, I guess we assume that, you know, because the way it was told to us, Gohan really thought it was like a fake gun. So thinking, oh, it's a fake gun, I'm going to just, you know, do my whole shtick, even if it was real. I wouldn't do it if it was real because it could hit people that I love, which apparently are all gathered in one place. I think Bulma's trying to kill us all. I think this is a hit, guy. I mean, come on. All of us are in one place at one time, and the God of Destruction appears.
I was just waiting to see for the, you know, the extended scene where either Yamcha or Krillin is handing Gohan the glass. Like, here you go, buddy. You need these.
That I don't think Krillin would have. Yamcha would have been like Yamcha and Oolong and Roshi would have been the biggest offenders. Oh, something really cool about Yamcha, by the way. You may not notice this because I know you haven't seen a lot of Dr. Slump, but the outfit that Yamcha's wearing is the same outfit that one of the characters, I believe it's Sururin, which is a character that's made to look just like Yamcha, but of course this was pre-Yamcha. So Dr. Slump was made pre-Dragon Ball Z. You've seen him before in the
brother, right?
Right. He's basically I hate to say this, but the way it was done at the time, the token Chinese family. It was done in a very strange. It's strange because they did not speak great Japanese, and it was very weird. I think because it comes off as a little bit off. I think you know what I mean by that. But by today's standards,
it was.
But this was done in
1980.
It was done in 1980. And you can tell that in a way, it's not because Toriyama doesn't like different Asian cultures. Because you can tell that there's a lot of Chinese influence in Dragon Ball Z. Journey to the West, damn it. But
it was just the acceptable humor at the time.
I would argue, yeah. And they were great at kung fu, and hell, the little girl, like not little girl, but his little sister, actually had mental powers a bit like, I would say Chaozu, and some other people in Dragon Ball. Before everything got all brah. Right back when mental powers were like, whoa, that guy's so cool. Remember that?
Yeah.
So it was very interesting because you have you have a situation where he's wearing the same exact outfit, and you're like, wait a minute, so it's a really nice nod, I think, to older stuff that Toriyama's done without having Areli or Errol, the robot girl, appear. Even though that would be funny too. Instead of just having her appear, it's just like, oh, we'll do a nice little nod where we'll just have Yamcha wearing that traditional outfit.
Yeah.
But it looks just like Surudin's from
Dr.
Slump.
Beerus punch Goku so hard he lands in Penguin Village.
Yeah, I would have been cool with that. I would have been so fucking cool with that, dude. You have no idea how cool I would have been with that, man. It's funny though because Arrow would have been a child still.
Yeah.
Unless the doctor,
and she would still be the same
had
too.
Unless he could have done modifications on her because he kind of has to eventually. Because everyone, so they made some jokes in the manga where they had title pages where it was like, Slump Village 10 years later, right? Or it wasn't Slump Village, it was Penguin Village. 10 years later. And they kept on doing them until it was like 90 years later, and everyone was super duper old, and Arrow was just a child still. It was great. They all had canes and like missing teeth and wrinkles, and she's just standing there.
Yeah. It would have been great though, like Goku lands on the ground, looks up, and Aurelie, Errol, whatever you want to say, she's standing right there, and he's like, "Hey, do you think you could do me a solid and help me out on this one too?"
She just swings him by the arm and just throws him back like he's nothing.
She throws Goku back at Beerus.
Oh my God!
Like,
he gets punched back. Can you just help me? Punched right back to Penguin Village. Can you help me back again, please?
Oh God.
Another thing too is that I don't know who this character is because the farmer that we saw looked like both Senbei from Norimaki, from Dr. Slump, but also looks like the way Toriyama has drawn himself in some forwards. Not all, because he usually has like a kind of mask on, but he looked like, it was interesting though, because if it was Senbei, I feel like we would have seen, like a bit of, what's it called? We would have seen more of Penguin Village, right? Although I don't know how Dr. Slump ends, but I'm pretty sure everyone's still around. We saw technically a continuation of Dr. Slump's story in Dragon Ball. Because it was a continuation because everyone was a bit older. I know you didn't really notice it because you weren't a fan of Dr. Slump, but when it happened in Dragon Ball, everyone was a bit older. So it's not like, as far as I know, everyone died horribly in a war. So they're still around. They're still around.
They didn't get wished back.
Yeah, right.
In one of the various times that Earth was destroyed.
I think we've seen them actually in some other random clips of I think them giving Goku energy and stuff. But it's been a while.
Possible, yeah.
I know that we saw Ader and the girl that he was left with. We saw her.
Yes.
She was 18 plus now or something. It was nuts. It was like, wow, you guys got older too, dear God.
Yeah, or
what
with,
is life right
Upa
now?
and his father.
Mm-hmm. We saw them as well, yes.
Yes.
But anyway, So jumping back to this movie, it was nice, I think, to have the random flashes to people in the city. I think it's always fun to do that because there's some characters that are constantly recurring, like the mom and, the son and the baby carriage. It's like there's always a bunch of characters that are recurring, so it's always fun to see them get flashed back to. I think, little stuff like that. Just people in the city like, wow, what's going on at Capsule Corp?
Yeah. Oh, just another day at Capsule Corp. Explosions.
Yeah, no, it's good world building because it really is weird that it's just, we're supposed to just accept, that's no one's going to question that. Of course they are. I mean, they'll say,
I find it funny, I find it the most funny that they point out, he's like the richest man in the world. And they kind of make a joke with that with the farmer, I believe. Oh, it's, them rich folks, partying again. It's like,
right.
So we make the rich joke over, the greatest scientific mind or one of the greatest in the world, and no one's, so they flip back and forth between, oh, it must be another experiment again, or oh, they're throwing a crazy party.
I'm an idiot.
Yes.
That farmer, is that the one from the beginning of Dragon Ball Z that shot at Raditz? Did he die? Did Raditz kill him?
I mean, I would assume
I think he technically kill him. Because he flicked a bullet at him, didn't
dead.
he? Okay,
yes.
Well, that sucks.
I mean, you don't actually see the bullet hit him, I don't think. But,
Well, I think he fell back. I know that much.
Yeah.
Never mind then. So my point was that I was thinking of other characters that they're flashing back to.
I think that their characters are, like, the drawing-wise, they're slightly different.
Yes, well, he's older. He would have been older if he wasn't his dad.
Yeah.
But anyway, the rich folk line, by the way, the added-in scene was with with Bulma's dad, Mr. Briefs. Mr. Briefs, that was my father's name, and Hercule. So that was actually added in there.
Yes.
So in other words, the farmer was not. So the farmer was just, business as usual. Oh, those rich people, and that was funny. The one with, so in other words, that's why I think it may have seemed a bit like overkill. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
no, because you said I felt like a lot, but yeah. So I think maybe that makes you understand, like, oh, right.
Yeah.
So yeah, good movie. Right, I didn't hate it. No, I'll just say, I mean, we haven't really talked about how much we've talked about a lot of, bits and pieces of it, but overall, as we try to maybe wrap things up, just a weensy bit, I say this, and as always, we're going to go on for about half an hour. I really did enjoy this movie. It was maybe it's because it was the first Dragon Ball Z movie in a while. Maybe that's what really took me back by it. But back when I saw it in 2014, because the movie came out in 2013 in Japan. Back when I saw it in 2014, and I see it now, it still really is a nice, fun romp. It's just a fun adventure. And I like when they're like that. Like, I'm very happy that it wasn't just even though future movies can be whatever they want to be, because not every movie has to be like this. But I like it when they're not just, oh, no, we have to go on an alternate planet. And even though those are fun, right? I do like those for the 50-minute movies. Still, it's like I'm happy it was just like, hey, we're going about our fucking lives, right?
Yes.
Like, we're going about our lives. This is what we're trying to do, right? And bam, God of Destruction happens. Wow, this is really, this is still our life, isn't it? We'll never get away from this.
I definitely felt like it was a really good way of reviving the series. Like, we still had, we had that chance to see everybody, settling into their daily lives, but then we also get that added of, there's another powerful, possible enemy on the horizon. Because that's always what, Dragon Ball always looked forward to was the next enemy. But, it's good that they took the time to say, hey, everybody's kind of chilling out because it's peaceful right now.
Also, multiple universes. I don't know what that fares for Revival of F, but what I do know is that you can easily have tournament stuff going on, at least in Dragon Ball Super now. You can eventually get up to a tournament arc. Why?
Although,
they set it up. They fucking set it up for you. What?
Beerus allude to any other universes in Super?
It's funny. I don't think he did. But
I don't think he did
I'm
either.
assuming what they're doing. And I'm assuming what they're doing is, well, I haven't seen any newer Super episodes minus, the episode that we finished podcasting about, which was 14, because, we're catching up because Tristan was in that whole Africa. He was in Africa. And he really was. We made a lot of, we've said a lot of things. We're like, oh, you've been in space, and you have, mind you. But you were in Africa as well. You were in Africa. So anyway, the point is that we did not see that, right? We did not see him being, talking about these universes, but there's going to be some extra stuff in there over the next few episodes before they jump into, right, Frieza's here, now let's do a fucking Resurrection of F arc. So I assume they might reveal that stuff in those episodes.
Right.
Because as we've noticed, they have shifted some stuff here or there. Right?
That's true.
But they've kept the same general meaning. But not revealing that makes me think, either one of two things. Either we're going to reveal it later, or in a weird, twisted way, I thought them saying in the movie there's other universes, as in, you're going to be able to fight them one day. And that cat guy that we see, not Beerus, the other one that we see in the opening, might be from another universe.
Right.
Right? What could happen, strangely enough, is it can be a thing where that they're trying to announce, like, hey, we have a movie verse and we have a TV verse and we have a manga verse. I assume that's not what they're trying to say, but if this really does go completely different and they don't mention other universes and Beerus is a lot more callous compared to the movie Beerus, it's going to be a little weird. It's going to be like, wait a minute, like what are we doing here? Like, are we trying? Like, why do we? No, because there are differences. Like, as of right now, where we are in Super compared to where we are right now in Battle of Gods, there are differences in the Beerus character.
Oh yeah.
I would say that the Beerus character in Battle of Gods is a lot more peppier and happier. Now, of course, he had his temper tantrums, yes, but by the end of the episode, the end of the movie, he really feels like, he really feels like, I like this Earth. Yes, in theory, there was some talk, extended scenes of like, you only did it for the food, didn't you? And he's like, I'll never tell. But in a way, it's like he really does like Goku, and the Earth really is infectious. Where in Super, they kind of had a little bit of that, but it felt more like, I'll leave. Whatever.
He felt more of like acting like Vegeta, like, I'm letting you live. Even though I kind of secretly like it here, but I'm not going to tell you that.
Very soon, Dede. Very soon, Dede.
Yeah.
But anyway, so also another thing I don't think we mentioned last time we did Battle of Gods. Apparently, Beerus, not only, of course, being based off of, cats, the pharaohs and the cat gods and all that stuff back in the day, also somewhat being based off of Akira Toriyama's cat.
Oh, my God.
So that's nice. Yeah, so that's nice. I don't know about as a person, but at least the design. Right, as a person, because cats are people.
Yeah.
But
I could just imagine, like, Akira Toriyama working at his desk one night, just like, and his cat jumps up, and it's like it accidentally knocks over something or whatever, and it like destroys a page that he just worked on, and he's like, "No, you've destroyed the universe." Wait.
I believe he's had some situations a bit like that in his forwards back when he was writing, because he's been doing forwards in these graphic novels ever since Dr. Slump. So we had about, I think, 17 Dr. Slumps, and then he had 42 Dragon Ball manga. So he's talked a lot about his cats, dogs, family. So it's a lot of fun stuff. I don't know if you've read the manga completely. But I want to lend them to you just so that at least you can get a refresher course on like what he said and the stuff that he's talked about. I remember the guy who wrote Yu Yu Hakusho, funny enough, talked about his experiences with ghosts in forwards. Yeah, no, it's really funny. Like he would just draw in the middle of the, while like one chapter ends, and he'd just draw like my experience with ghosts, part 1. And it would be like just a 5-panel thing of like, I was sitting here, and then I felt something behind me, but I dared not look back. You know, I just kept on hurriedly writing more chapters, drawing more chapters of Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah. Or
anyway.
I just imagine, like, a little panel interview with Toriyama. It's like, so, we know you have pets and whatever, and it's like, you get along, you love your pets and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, of course. It's like, my actual cat's name is the God of Destruction. For that time, he spilled water on my on my desk.
Oh man! But so one scene. Let's talk about a scene that we didn't like, because why not? Right, as we're wrapping things up. So I'm not gonna say that I didn't like this necessarily, but I will say that even though I find it funny, right? No matter how hard I can laugh, it still seems very, very messed up to just have Gohan's wife get shot, especially when we know that she's pregnant. And for anyone who says, "But come on, Matt, how would we know?" If you've seen the show and read the manga, you know that Videl has to be born eventually. So by Dende going like,
you know,
wait a minute, you're right, Pan. Wow, Videl gives birth to Videl.
Oh God!
On the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
She really is the daughter of Satan.
That is accurate. I would, what's interesting? Well, that is of course accurate. I also feel as if that would happen in just how do we fuck with everything. Videl's pregnant with Videl. Go home, nerds.
Oh, jeez.
But anyway, so getting back to things that actually did happen. She's pregnant with Pan.
That was probably the only thing that maybe not the only thing, but one thing that I liked that Super did. I think they took care of it better than they did in the movie. I mean, it was funny with Gohan, but then it was like, my wife has been injured. I mean, not severely, and they healed it right away, but it was like, you kind of fucked up.
How, because it shows you how quickly, it can be undone, because, I mean, hell, again, to them, bullets are nothing, but, like, just in my head, I think, like, if she had gotten shot, well, like, in the head, or in the stuff, like, I don't know, I feel like there are, like, it's just like the leg is the place. You see, no, but like seriously, like it just because my thought is just like, oh, she got shot, it was in the leg, and then it's just like, oh, don't, Videl, are you? And I'm like, dear God, I know he didn't know, but dear God.
Yeah, I mean,
also, I
feel like, because in Super, it's like Videl is the one with the idea. Oh, I'm technically carrying a Saiyan child. It's like, let's try that. It's like. That's actually very smart. Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, considering they didn't have any other options, it's like, thank you, Videl. It's like, yeah, she's clever too, guys.
She is. No, of course. What I enjoyed, too, is just that, what was it? So, I enjoyed in Super having Gohan talk to Goku. Just like, Dad.
Oh, yeah. That was beautiful. Dad, I'm sorry I didn't tell you the right way before, but, I'm having a child. Please, can you give me your blessing? And he just looks at him, and it's like, say something? He's like, eat lots of food. Okay, Dad.
My God. But, so overall, like I said, it was a great movie. I think I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Because there are some things I didn't like. I don't want to sit here giving it a 7 because, I mean, I don't want to give it a 9 either because I feel like 9 is very high. But an 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10, I would argue, because there was so much that I enjoyed about the film. Possibly even more, and it's funny because I would say that I would enjoy the theatrical cut more. But again, as it went on, I just really enjoyed some of the newer scenes that were put in because they were funny. Hercule and, and Bulma's dad. Or apparently the aftermath to the fight on planet, on Kai's planet was extended, so that also happened as well. All right. The stuff about Beerus having to take a bath. Yeah. That was also added in as well. That was added in. Not extended. That was added in.
The dialogue between Whis and Beerus is always beautiful.
Yes, it always is. So I think in Super it was done a lot because they had to obviously they had to kill time. That was done very well. The dialogue, I think, was done very well in Super, and it didn't make me as upset as I think it should have. Because in my head it was just, oh, that's nice, they're stalling and that's fun. The fights, in a weird way, you would think, oh, but Matt, there are fights, you'd want more of those. Well, yeah, but the way they kind of did a stop-go with Goku and Beerus at the end was kind of, as in the main event fight, kind of was just, guys, can we just have the fight happen? Because we were really waiting for it to end. Here, we know, okay, an hour 40, right? It was originally an hour 20, hour 15. Like, okay, you know, we'll see what happens, right? And then it was, I don't know, it was a good scene. It was a good scene. It was a good movie.
Yeah.
Sorry, looking at some of the altered added scenes, just want to make sure I got everything that, to us, I think matters. And it seems like we did, you know? The scene with Whis and ice cream was also added in.
Right, yes.
When he actually comes onto the ship, and it's just like, what is this? Right? That was new. Also, apparently the wasabi scene was also new.
Huh.
At least added in.
Okay. Right.
Yes. Or at least some of it was new.
Yeah.
Like, again, like, when I say it says added scene, but again, it could just be, like, extended a little bit more. So, and that scene at the end was also extended, where it's just like, go to bed, Lord Beerus. But yeah, so, you know, I do think it was a good movie. Very little of it made me sit there and go, are you serious? Which really was only, like, one part. And just the rest of it, you know, while I might not have enjoyed the 3D, doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy the rest of it. So, yeah, I'm going for 8.5. What about you?
Yeah, I'd probably give it about the same.
We agree. That never happens. Great. It happens almost every time. I think very rarely have we just sat there and we're going, no, it's like this. No, it's like that. Like, I think maybe the only, even like when it comes to talking about the dub at certain points, we've actually agreed, like, yeah, we did not like the fist jump line. This movie is a great way to utilize that comedy of like, and wait till the fish jumps. Because this movie was just completely just balls to the wall crazy in that kind of way. But yeah, so, anywho, we would like to thank you all for listening in. We are at the end of our show. We really are.
No.
I know. But don't worry. Next time, I think, unless you somehow magically watch more Super, I think we're probably going to go with Revival of F. Well, no, because I have to admit, I have to also watch more and see how many we are going to have to do. So I have to start the process, so I'm sorry. It's on me, okay? But also you have to watch them as well. So I don't know if we're, all I know is, if we do more Super, we'll be doing a few episodes before jumping into the Revival of F arc, right? Or we'll be doing the actual Revival of F movie first. How will you know which one is which? Well, I'll tell you right now. We have ourselves a website, thoseguysontherradio.tumblr.com, our Facebook /thoseguysontherradio, our Twitter @thoseguysradio, and our Instagram /thoseguysontherradio. Also, you can catch us on iTunes. Any of our new episodes will be there as well if you search up Those Guys on the Radio. And those are the ways that you can find our newer episodes, right? You'd be updated on them as well as just kind of see them pop up in your feed. We also have ourselves a YouTube channel, right? We have our Those Guys on the Radio YouTube channel. You search up Those Guys on the Radio. You can see some of our older episodes and newer ones that I'm constantly updating. You can also check out our Let's Play channel, Those Guys Play, where Tristan and I have played. We have our own. We have our first season, right? Next season should be coming out in February, unless this episode comes out in February, in which case, hey, isn't season 2 great? So we have our Those Guys Let's Play Season 1, where you and I, Tristan, have played Luigi's Mansion for Halloween. We've played, we had Episode 2, where you and I played Hot Wheels Turbo Racing, which you were a fan of as a child.
Yes.
So that's on you. You like that. But don't worry, because I brought to the table, in that same episode, Pet's Crazy Monkeys.
Which you didn't enjoy, even as a child.
I did not enjoy at all. Well, it didn't come out when I was a child, thank God. It came out later, and I just don't like it. So, yes, we played those 2 games, right, in Episode 2. For the Halloween special, Part 1, you and I played Luigi's Mansion. We played Star Wars Battlefront on Thanksgiving, and we actually continue Star Wars Battlefront in our, series aptly named Those Guys Play Star Wars Battlefront. So, you and I have played that as well, and you can find that by searching up Those Guys Play on YouTube, or TGP, or TGP Those Guys Play. You'll find us, you'll find me, right? You'll find the both of us, as well as many of our other podcast hosts playing different games and having a lot of fun. I mean, you also have me playing doing Matt Beats games from his childhood. I wonder what that's about. And the game that I'm playing right now is actually Mega Man X. Being released every Monday for our Mega Man Mondays. Also, for our Star Wars Wednesdays, you and I have been doing Star Wars podcasts, as well as, again, playing Battlefront. So
if you start
we're getting
making
them on
something
both
for all these days, it's going to get confusing, Matt.
Are you sure? Are you sure that, releasing this for Dragon Ball Super Saturdays?
Oh my God.
Do you think that's a fucking joke? You think this is a game? I've been doing that.
Don't you laugh at me. I can do whatever I want. I'm in control.
Essentially, yes.
God,
we have our
Lord
merchandise as well. We have our oh God. We have our does that make you weak? Are you more powerful than I am?
Oh God.
Anyway, we have our merchandise as well. You go to cafepress.com/TGOTR merchandise, and you can get a whole bunch of T-shirts that we have. We have those guys playing T-shirts. We have a bunch of other fun T-shirts as well, based on some of our podcasts that we've done. Funny quotes, things like that. And it's a good time. It's it's really fun. I bought some of the shirts myself. I love walking around in them. They're beautiful, man. So I should probably just take some pictures of me wearing them, putting them on our social media as well.
Yes.
So.
Yes, you should.
Anyway, I should. Yes. I got to get you one. Rather, you got to get one. No, you do, because you wanted those guys.
Yes,
I
do.
With the Star Wars-y type font.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah. Good. So anyway, we'd like to thank you all for listening in, as always. And anything you want to say before we end the show, Tristan?
Find out next time on Those Guys on the Radio.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Good night, everybody. Oh, yeah, dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun.